What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I wanted to talk about some of the bullish arguments around Nextech and why I am all in on this stock. Now, by all in, I don't mean that it's the only stock I own in my portfolio, because I do have two portfolios, one for growth and one for retirement. Now, in my retirement account, I will be allocating somewhere around 40 to 50% of that portfolio to Nextech. And that's really what I mean by all in. Now, typically that's bad practice to only have one stock be half of your portfolio. But in this case, I think the risk versus reward is really in favor of me making money over the next 5 to 10 years. And that's what I wanted to cover in today's video, is why I am going all in and what are my bullish points. Why do I believe so much in Nextech AR? Now, I can't stress this enough, but you should never buy a stock just because someone else is. You want to make sure you've done your own research and that you have conviction in that stock, because when you have conviction and you really believe in a company, you don't get emotional when the stock drops 10% and you feel like you need to sell out of your position. So make sure you guys are sticking around to the end of the video, because this will be one of my most valuable ones yet, especially in terms of the information I talk about. And if you guys feel like you got some value from this video, be sure to drop a like, because it really does help out the channel a ton. And there's a lot of time and effort that goes into prepping, recording, and editing videos like this, especially ones with this much value. So I really hope you guys enjoy it. And with that, let's get into my bullish arguments. So I wanted to open up today's video with a bullish price target that I see the stock hitting within the next 3 to 5 years. But for the purpose of this, we're looking 3 years out based off their revenue and price to sales and what I think the stock price is going to be. And let's be honest, we all like making money. That's why we're invested in the stock market. So I wanted to show you guys the reasoning behind why I'm all in on this stock. Now, what I did was I mapped out how I see revenues growing through 2023 based off the price to sales ratio and guidance from Nextech themselves. Now, the magic price to sales number I'm going to be using is 15, which, let's be honest, is pretty conservative given they are growing revenues by multiple hundreds of percent. Now, Nextech themselves have already guided for roughly $20 million in revenue this year, but I think they're going to beat that and come in at around 25 million. Now, this would give them a projected price to sales of 17, which to me is already cheap. I would say anything under 20 should be considered cheap for Nextech, just based off of how much they're growing and also how other growth stocks are trading, but that's a topic for a different video. Now, Nextech has also already guided for $50 million next year in 2021, which again, I think they will crush, but for the purpose of this video, let's go conservative and use 50 million in revenue for 2021. Now, assuming they stay at a price to sales of 15 for the next 3 years, this gives them a share price of $10.87, which is 75% higher than current levels. But wait, there's more. Well, if I assume they grow revenues by 75% in 2022, that brings them to $87 million in revenue, which at a price to sales of 15 gives them a share price of $19.02. That's a 206% return in just 2 years. But wait, there's more. If we assume just 50% revenue growth in 2023, which is ultra conservative, that gives them a market cap of just $2 billion and a stock price of $28.53, which is also a 359% return in just 3 years. And you also got to keep in mind, these are super conservative numbers that I'm using, so there is way more potential upside. Now, I want you to remember that $2 billion number, because we're going to come back to that in just a second and you're going to see why I am all in on this stock. Now, I can't tease you guys with these kind of price projections without at least backing them up. So the first thing I want to talk about is what I feel is the biggest and most recent news that came out of their investor conference just recently on Thursday. So at the event, the CEO, Evan Gappelberg, kind of teased investors by saying that they were working with Amazon but couldn't give any more detail because Amazon didn't want the information getting out. Now, personally, I expect to get some more information on this at the Q3 earnings call, which is going to be on Thursday, because let's be honest, you can't tease investors like that, news that you're working with Amazon, and just keep us hanging for the next month, 2 months, 3 months, whatever. So personally, I think we should be getting news on this and some more information pretty soon. But the point of this is, the reason I think this is big news is because I see it going one of two ways. The first scenario, which I would prefer, is that Nextech just straight up gets millions, if not billions of dollars in revenue from this deal, which would obviously boost those price projections that I gave out of the water. I mean, we're talking about way higher than a $2 billion market cap. Now, the second scenario that I see from this is Nextech just gets straight up acquired by Amazon. Now, you might be wondering, why would Amazon want Nextech? Well, Nextech just recently acquired a company called Airshow, and with that deal came over IP, or intellectual property, that allows users to create 3D AR holograms without needing a green screen or any other equipment. Now, you might be wondering, how does that benefit Amazon? Well, imagine if all the sellers who sell their products on Amazon could create augmented reality versions of those products from the comfort of their own home. All the sellers would need is the product in hand, and that's it. The sellers would instantly have a product with AR capabilities that not only increases user engagement, but conversion rates for those stores. Now, obviously, this is massive news for Nextech's ER commerce segment, but we're gonna have to wait for more information to come out, and you can rest assured that as soon as we know, I will let you guys know. So with that, let's get into the next bullish argument that I have for Nextech. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if there's another leadership team out there that's working on a $500 million company with this much experience. So let's start with Evan Gappelberg, the CEO. He has 20 years of experience going back to the 1990s as being a hedge fund manager and senior vice president of finance, where he underwrote Take-Two Interactive Software, which now has a current market cap of $20 billion. So he definitely knows what it takes to get Nextech to that next level and on the major markets, which is what they are currently working on. Now, he was also the co-founder and CEO of EG Products, which created the market's first LED light-up toy and was able to secure licensing and contracting deals with companies like Disney, Universal Studios, Macy's, and Walgreens. And prior to Nextech, he was responsible for bringing in the seed round investors and more than 20xing Future Farm Technologies market cap before leaving to start up Nextech. So he definitely has experience in the finance and business world that he brings with him as he moves on to Nextech. Now next, the COO, Eugen Winchell, which of course I talked about in another video, so be sure to check out my Nextech AR playlist. But he spent 18 years working at SAP, which is a $140 billion company. And at SAP, he held multiple key executive positions and will now be in charge of growing Nextech from 70 employees to more than 700. So I think he also knows what he's doing. Now, the last piece of the leadership team that I want to talk about is the recent addition of Yao Boon Lim, and he's taking on the role of president and managing director of the Asia Pacific region. Now, his resume includes more than 25 years of experience with companies like IBM and Motorola. And before he joined Nextech, he was the vice president of marketing and strategy at, you guessed it, SAP. So I'd say it's also safe to assume that he knows what he's doing and knows how to market a brand. Now, one thing that I love to see, especially when you're talking about a company that's got a $500 million market cap, is that they surround themselves with people who have experience in growing startups or running large businesses. And what Nextech has been doing is adding these key pieces and really pulling the best of the best from all around the world to help grow out Nextech AR's different product lines. And before we get into the next segment, I know it may seem all over the place, and really what I wanted to do in this video was just kind of really hit bullet point items like, this is why I'm bullish and this is why I'm all in. So I know it may seem not organized, but this is like as if I'm just talking to a buddy and telling him like, yo, this is why I believe this company will be big. So bear with me, but like I said, I hope you guys see that there's a lot of value in this video. All right, so we're finally at the fun part of the video. I'm going to be talking about the augmented reality industry as a whole and why I believe that AR technology isn't even close to reaching its full potential yet. So global spending on augmented reality technology is expected to grow almost 80% this year alone, and this industry as a whole is going to see rapid growth from here on out. There are so many industries that will be impacted by this jump in AR technology, like coaching, entertainment, e-commerce, medicine, events and conferences, and the list goes on. This global digital transformation that we're seeing is not going away. Think about all the industries that are starting to boom. You have artificial intelligence, virtual and augmented reality, cloud computing, and 5G. This is the new wave of technology that has been here already, but is finally advanced enough to start picking up rapid adoption from businesses and consumers like us. What we are entering here is one of the biggest shifts in how we use technology since probably the computer or the iPhone. This is the type of technology that we as consumers will be using in everyday life at some point in one way or another. It's not a matter of if, but when this shift occurs, and I think we are at the forefront of it, especially with the global issue. And to be honest, this is technology that I think we're a lot closer to than most people may think. Now, obviously, Nextech has great position to take full advantage of this shift that we're seeing, and that is why Nextech, again, is one of my favorite stocks, because they're at the forefront of this technological shift that we're seeing. So to close up this video, I'm going to talk about the different products that they offer and how each of these are in massively growing industries. All right, so you remember that $2 billion market cap number I had earlier? Well, one product that Nextech is working on, and unfortunately all they could say on the investor call was that they're still working on it, is a video conferencing platform similar to Zoom, but this one would have AR capabilities. Now, if we look at Zoom, they have a market cap of $141 billion, and if Nextech can execute on this product how they are with the Inferno AR platform, we are talking about billions of dollars in market cap value being added just from that product alone. Imagine if it could be just 5% the size of Zoom. That's in theory $7 billion in market cap added right there. Forget about the other products that we're going to talk about. So if a $2 billion market cap is the equivalent of roughly $30 per share, a $7 billion market cap, we're talking about $80 plus a share, which is an amazing return. That's about all I could say about that. So if they can execute on the Zoom lookalike, this could be massive for this stock. Now, they also have their Inferno AR platform, which I've talked about a ton on the channel, so I'm not going to get too in depth on it, but this is used to host virtual events and conferences, basically. Now, what separates Nextech from the competition like Zoom is that this is the only platform that provides businesses and users with a virtual event that can also offer augmented reality experiences on top of it. And the Inferno AR platform is specifically being used for virtual conferences, trade shows, and events. Now, if you look at the growth opportunity for the virtual events industry, it's expected to be worth $400 billion by 2027. And this is an industry that will never go back to being strictly in person. I'm expecting that future events will be hybrid in the sense that they will have virtual options and in-person options. But either way, Nextech has positioned themselves to capitalize on this paradigm shift that we're seeing in the way that we work, travel, and network with other professionals. Now, I could spend all day going in depth on all the other products that they have and all the industries they're pursuing, but this video would be an hour long if I did that. So to sum it up for you, they are also active in the online education market, which, as we know, is seeing rapid adoption by universities around the world. They are also working on an advertising platform that would allow marketers to use their AR technology to increase ad engagement. And they are also pursuing the e-commerce industry, which, as we all know, is worth trillions of dollars already. So if we want to talk about total addressable markets, theirs is literally what seems to be limitless. So I didn't want to make this video too long, and I tried to hit all of my main bullish arguments for them. But if you guys want to see a more in-depth video on any of their business segments, let me know and I will be more than happy to cover it. But I hope you guys took away from this video just how massive of an opportunity this company has to continue to grow. We are already seeing 300% revenue growth, and I really don't see it slowing down anytime soon when you think of how fast the global issue has transformed the way that we work and interact with each other. So if Nextech can keep this up, I think they will hit my price targets, and to be honest, I could see them blowing past that I just wanted to use conservative numbers to show you guys just how big of an opportunity this is from an investment standpoint. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe to the channel because there's a lot more content coming out just like this. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I will catch you on the next one.